where light and shadow are locked in an eternal dance. Pinki always thought she was strong enough to handle anything. She was used to being in control, always ready to protect herself and those around her. But she never imagined her enemy would be so cunning and determined. Black wasn't just a villain, he was the embodiment of dark power, whose ambitions knew no bounds. His laugh was chilling, his eyes filled with a ruthless resolve. He was smart, sly, and even Pinki couldn't predict what he would do next. This time, his plan was something entirely different. He had come up with something far more twisted. This time, his plan was insidious. He knew Pinki was always ready for his usual tricks, so he decided to try something more intricate and malicious. He lured her into an old, abandoned warehouse, a place that had seen many of his dark deeds. It was filled with strange, mysterious objects that only those who dared to step into the world of darkness could understand. Pinki couldn't refuse the meeting. She felt something was off, but she had to face him, prepared for whatever was coming. As she stepped into the warehouse, the air grew thick, and it felt like the shadows themselves were closing in on her. Black stood in the middle of the room, a sinister grin on his face as he watched her approach. "You still don't get it, do you?" "I'm always one step ahead," he said, his voice cold and unfeeling. Pinki didn't show any sign of fear. "What's your game this time?" she asked, trying to keep her cool. Black smiled, his eyes gleaming with malice. He turned to the strange objects scattered around the room. With a wave of his hand, he summoned a jar filled with a dark, viscous substance, holding it up as if savoring the moment. "You think strength is just about physical power?" he said, his voice dripping with contempt. "Strength is influence, and I'm going to show you how easily I can break you." Without warning, Black slammed the jar open, and the dark liquid splashed toward Pinki. She barely had time to react before it covered her, cold and sticky, seeping into her clothes and skin. Pinki froze for a moment, her body now drenched in the disgusting substance. It wasn't just about being dirty, it was about the humiliation, the degradation. This was Black's way of breaking her, stripping away her dignity. Her body was covered, and it felt like her very essence was being tainted. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she fought them back. She couldn't let him see her weakness. The last thing she wanted was to give him the satisfaction of knowing he'd succeeded in breaking her. But the dirt, the humiliation, it was all too much. Her heart pounded and she fell to her knees. This wasn't just about the dirt, it was about everything Black had done to her. She felt the sting of defeat, the weight of her vulnerability. But then something shifted inside her. There was a fire that hadn't been extinguished, a strength that couldn't be crushed. Slowly, she wiped away her tears and stood up, determination flashing in her eyes. The dirt couldn't define her. She wasn't going to let Black win. "You don't own me," she said, her voice steady, her resolve unbroken. Black's grin faltered for a moment. He had expected her to crumble. Instead, she was rising from the dirt, her spirit stronger than ever. "Did you think you could break me, Black?" she said, her words like a challenge. "You don't know who you're messing with." The shadows around her seemed to recede as her strength returned. Black could keep playing his games, but now he would face something he never expected: Pinki's true power.